All right, gang, let's start right off the bat by talking about what Affinity Designer is. Affinity Designer is a vector graphics illustration program. Now, I want to clear up a term. Vector, the term vector, talks about lines. It's about mathematics. Now, the alternative to that is what is called raster or pixel-based art. Now, the advantage Affinity has is when you are in the draw persona, you see up here that blue triangle looking thing, that's called the draw persona, and you are working in vector art. Now if you come over here to this little pixel persona here and we click on that, now you're talking about raster or pixel based art. So you're saying, Jeremy, what's the difference? All right, let me show you. We're going to start in the draw persona. Now, if I take this and I draw a square, let's hold shift and draw a square. And you don't have to do this, folks. There's nothing you have to do right now. And I put a stroke on that square. It doesn't matter how big I scale this thing up. Let's go ahead and just scale it up and up and up and up and up. You'll see that the lines are very symmetrical and very crisp. That's because vector art works on math. So let's take a look. I'll bring out the pen tool and I'll show you here. Go here, go here, go here. Now it doesn't matter how big I scale this piece of vector art up to, because it's based on math and the geometry between, say, point A and point B, it will remain consistent. Now on the other hand, folks, let's take a look at what a raster or a pixel-based image is. Now, this is a traditional pixel base. Now, this is just your standard cell phone. Now, if we come in and we zoom in, now we're going to blow this thing up to a comical size. Notice what's happening. This is what is called pixelation. Now, if I continue in here, and I continue in, and I continue in, you see these things here called a pixel. Now, I'm going to go ahead and highlight a pixel for you here. We're going to do a pixel. We're going to put one pixel down. Now, many pixels begin to form an image. But the problem is, if there's not enough pixels in there, you'll see that as you zoom up, a pixel begins to lose its focus. So the difference, folks, between vector-based and raster-based is a vector-based image does not have scaling problems. A raster-based image does. Now, in Affinity Designer, you work in both. We will work primarily in vector art, but you will have some pixel influence. As an example, I can add a pixel layer inside of this rectangle, and then I can come over to my pixel persona. I can grab my brush. I can grab a brush here, I can grab a color, and I can start painting on a pixel layer. So there is a nice mix of both vector and pixel art in Affinity Designer, and this is what allows it to be comparable and, in my opinion, better than Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. All right, folks, that's a little bit about terminology. Let's move into the next lesson and get started.